So you're tired of waiting around and you really want to go to grad school this year, right? If that's your goal, you've come to the right place, because in today's video, I'll be sharing with you the best schools that you should apply to and get into to help you achieve your goals this year. Let's jump right into it. So you want to go to grad school this year, right? So the first thing you must think about is, what are my goals? That's the first thing you need to ask yourself. You need to really be clear on what your goals are. Now, your goal may be relocation. I just want to leave my home country and go to another country and start afresh there. Or if relocation is your goal, that is really clear and that is great. Another person's goal may be, I want a change in my career, and like moving abroad would be a great opportunity for me to do that. That's perfect as well. Another person may say, oh, I just want to try something new and that's why I want to go to grad school, but I want funding. No matter what, funding is the most important thing to me. So these are all three different goals. So whatever you're thinking about going to grad school this year, the first thing is nailing down why you want to go to grad school and what is the most important thing to you. If you got into schools and you don't get funding, will you go? You need to ask yourself that. Or if you got into school, but you got into school in a country where relocation and living there permanently is tough, will you actually take on that? Will you actually start that adventure? If the answer is no, those are things you need to ask yourself. Now, once you've asked yourself this question and you are clear what your goal is, then let me tell you the next thing you need to do. So once you nail and write down your goal and like what you want to achieve, or the most important thing to you throughout this journey, you need to now research schools and countries that are right or appropriate for you. So let me give you the gist. If the most important thing to you is easy relocation, like you want to live permanently in that country and you want it to be a very easy, straightforward process, then you have no business applying to certain countries. Canada may be your best option or the country you should prioritize. That doesn't mean you won't apply to schools outside of Canada, but that just means Canada is your first choice, right? But if you're someone that says, hey, relocation is great, but I don't want to pay a dime for school. I don't have the money. And so funding, getting scholarships, all of that is the most important thing to me in this process. Then the right place for you may be the United States, because almost everyone knows, or so many people know, that the US is actually a great destination for scholarships. Like if you need funding, you want schools to fund you, you don't want to pay out of pocket, the US is almost like your best bet, right? Or someone else may say, I just want very good job opportunities, or I just want to relocate and I want to get the admission fast. I don't want all this taking tests and stuff like that. Then the UK may be the right destination for you. But all of this to say that once you know what your goal is, don't lie to yourself. If your goal is jackpot or relocation, then apply to the right places or to the right countries for that. Now, it doesn't mean you should not apply to other countries or other schools, but just prioritize the right set of schools or the right country or destination for you, right? Now, once you know, like, these are the two countries that work for me, maybe I should apply to the US and Canada, only given the goal that I have. Now, once you know that detail, the next thing is research schools. And now this is where you need to be very careful. This is the most important step, where you are researching schools. A lot of people research schools, apply, get admission offers before they now think about funding. If you're an OG on this channel, you know that I don't like that. That is like ingredient for failure. Right? So what you want to do at this stage where you're trying to select schools is you should actually start researching funding. If funding is important to you at all in any way, it's in the process of researching schools that you should bring in funding as a criterion. So let's say you're applying to schools in the US and Canada. Once you're at the point where you are narrowing down to maybe you're narrowing down to 10 schools, you need to start doing a lot of research to confirm that those schools actually fund. If you apply to schools that don't give international students a lot of funding or a lot of scholarships, you're already, I don't know what you're doing. You're wasting your time because it is not you that will change a school's policy. If they just don't give a lot of funding or they don't even have money, some of you apply to schools that don't have a lot of cash and you expect them to give you full funding. I don't know how that works. So what you need to do is select schools that, based off of your research, you've spoken with people that went to the school, you've done some research online, you have seen that these are the schools that actually fund international students and give a lot of funding to people. Then those are the schools you should prioritize. Now, that doesn't mean, what I'm saying is you need to prioritize schools that give funding. And if you are wondering what schools give funding, how do I know the right schools that give funding? I have a list of like 500 or 400 fully funded MBA PhD programs. I have that list and you can buy it. I put it in the description box. It's just for like $15. You can get that list. Basically, that list has so many scholarships for so many schools and the funding packages that they have for students. So you can just start with that list and say, hey, these are the programs I'm interested in. Maybe I'm interested in a master's in music. You can see all the schools that offer very good funding for a master's in music program or master's in psychology. You can see all the different schools across like the US, Canada, UK that provide funding, good funding for students that are interested in a master's in psychology. So you can start with that list. I'll put the link in the description. If you're interested, you can just get that and start from there. Of course, there's thousands more out there, but you can save yourself a lot of time by just getting that list in the description box. It's an ebook and you can just get it and get 500 fully funded programs across different fields that you may be interested in. So next step is, once you have selected some schools, maybe now you have a list of 10 from that list or from your own research, you have a list of 10 schools that you're considering. Now this is the step that I really advise people to take. Once you know this list of 10, even though you know you won't apply to all 10 schools, maybe you apply to 4 schools, but you have a list of 10 or 15, go to the loan provider website and check that those schools and those programs are on the list. That is so important, right? Go to Prodigy's website, go to Quorum's website, go to Empire's website if you're an international student, and go check that the programs you're considering are on their list of programs that they work with or the programs that they sponsor. So go check out the list of the list that these loan providers have on their website and confirm that these schools you're applying to actually are on those lists. Now, why is this important? This is important because in case for some reason you got 95% funding or you got 80% funding and you need some loans to cover a part of that, even if it's just $10,000, even if it's just $5,000, and you need to take student loans to cover a part of your cost of attendance, that's when you need these loan providers. It doesn't hurt to do it now before you even apply to any school. Now, once you check and they are on the list and the schools you're interested in are on those lists, then you're fine. This is great because anytime you need loans, you can always apply since your school is on their list. So that's the next step you need to take. And if you're interested in Prodigy Finance, their link is in the description. Just click it. I will include Empire and Quorum as well. Click all those links and see where the schools you're interested in, where that school is sponsored. So the next step, once you have checked the loan provider website and you are able to narrow down to like 5 schools, the next step, of course, is for you to apply to these schools. Let me give you a bonus trick, or tip somewhere. Now, before you apply to any school, you should try to see if that school has application fee waivers. Check if the school is waiving applications. Now, some schools don't announce on their websites that they are waiving application fees, but there's a way you can still get application fees waived. You can write to the school explaining that you're interested in the program and ask them if they can waive your application. Now, I know this is so important for many international students because of all of these exchange rate issues and what is going on economically in the world right now. People need all of these things. Now, this is a trick you should try, a tip you should try. You should go to the school, write them an email and ask that if they can waive your application fees that you would really love to. Of course, there's a way to write those emails. You need to sound like you're the most interested person in that program. So write to the school before you apply. See if you can get an application fee waiver. But also, I share sometimes on my Instagram stories some of these schools that are waiving application fees. So if you follow me on Instagram, the link is always in the description. You would always see some of these schools that I share on my stories. So the next step is for you to just apply, and once you apply and you begin to hear back from the school, hopefully it is good news and you have an admission offer from each of those schools, then that takes us to the last step. The final step is you need to accept or decline. But before you accept any offer of admission, please do a bit more research. Talk to students that have gone to that school before. Ask them about their experience going to that school, so that you can confirm some of the assumptions you've made about that school. You're applying to the school based off of some assumptions. Maybe this school can help me get this kind of job, or this school can do this for me. Make sure you check with students that have recently graduated from that program. Many of them are on LinkedIn. If you check the name of the school, you can begin to see people that attended the school. So reach out to them and ask them all these questions. So the last step here is make a decision on the offer. Either you accept or you decline. But before you accept, do a bit more research. Okay, so if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to get some of the resources I mentioned in this video, they will be in the description box. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up and you click the subscribe button below and ask me any questions about going to school this year. I really want to help you achieve your goal of going to school abroad this year, and we can do it. Okay, we can do it. Don't be discouraged by last year's rejections and all of those. They don't matter. This year is a fresh new start and we can do it. You just need to pay attention, put in the work, keep applying, keep trusting, keep hoping, and keep asking me questions so I can help you as you navigate this entire journey. I'm here for you. And I hope you're ready, because this year you will testify. You soon come to the comments and tell me, hey, Doyin, I got in and I got the funding that I need, and I'll be so excited for you. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Hope you like it. Give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. All right, I'll see you in the next one.